Hey guys, it's me, Nightlight Ben. Um, I have changed a few things. uh, since the last time I was, sorry. Oh, since the last time I was on. Also, give me a second because this is a new layout. So, 1 second. Sorry about that. Um, okay. I have been very busy since the last time we saw each other. I have been working endlessly to get my basement set up in such a way that I deem appropriate. um, I I went live on TikTok before this actually. Um, Not realizing that my phone was very low on battery. Because I like to plan things out, right? Um, Today has been very impromptu, so um I have a lot to share. So let's get back to this whole I have been setting up the basement thing. So I have put up some soundproofing in the basement. I even soundproofed part of my microphone. It looks stupid. I don't care as long as it works, right? Um I want the audio to be good. I noticed my stream last week with my friends. I had a blast. There were tons of viewers. It was amazing. I had a blast. We shared a lot of laughs. I have a lot of upcoming clips to post about that. It was so much fun. I wish I could do that way more frequently. I will try to work something out. The couch co-op was like a very special kind of event. It was more of like a going away slash, I guess you could call it a quitter party. Um, they were my previous uh coworkers, right? I got a new job. Um, so it was like a party, and then one of them, Chivi, is going. I believe he put in his 2 week notice this last Monday. So uh, they're Chivi's planning on moving away, which is unfortunate for us because I don't get to collab with him on the couch, which is unfortunate because it was, like I said, it was amazing. I had so much fun. Like such an enjoyable moment for me. I'm so glad that we got to have that party. We had a blast on stream. We had a blast off stream. We ate a bunch of pizza. I got sick. Totally fine. Totally fine. Like best day ever. Um, so it's unfortunate for me that I can't do that stuff with him anymore. But he's got a ton of friends where he's moving to, so he'll have more opportunities to do stuff like that on his own with his friends. So Chivi CH33VY, uh, his stuff is awesome. You should check out his stuff on Twitch. He's also on TikTok. He's also got all his socials on his Twitch account. So if you're interested in looking up his stuff, I would recommend it. Check him out. Cool guy. Very fun to work with. Very fun personality. Uh, awesome. Oh, okay. Moving on. I took the whole week off because of my new job. I am currently working like 14-hour days. Well, actually, it's anywhere from 12 to 14-hour days. So it's long. It's tough. It's hard. I the initial plan was to have me work weekend. That was the job that I interviewed for. That was, the plan that I was having. I took the whole week off this last week because that was the plan. And then all of a sudden, Thursday, yes, Thursday, the plan changed. Flip it on its head, totally changed. They want me on weekdays. So I said yes because if I'm being honest with you, I was very nervous about working weekends. I've never worked weekends in my entire life besides like in college when I was a lifeguard slash swim instructor slash swim coach slash aquatics coordinator, but that's a whole nother story. Um, so I have never worked the weekend shift. Never. Besides the college stuff, but we don't count that. Okay? Because that was like, oh God, it was almost a decade ago. I'm not crashing out on stream. Okay. That's not the point. The plan was that I was going to work weekends, and that whole the 4th of July week was supposed to be my hell week, where I was working Monday through Thursday, take Friday off, and then work Saturday, Sunday, and then I would have had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, and then worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And those shifts I only would have worked anywhere from 12 to 14 hours. Um, I decided to do the weekday stuff because I wanted to keep my streaming schedule relatively similar, right? And it's nice to see my wife, you know, on the days that she has off, because otherwise I would only be seeing her in the evenings. Well, I guess when she wakes up, uh, before she goes to work, and then maybe for lunch if she decides to come home, which she normally does, but since I'm here, I'd be taking care of the two dogs that we have. So she probably wouldn't feel as obligated. Regardless, she would have come home and I would have seen her in the evenings. But then if I had streaming stuff to do, then I wouldn't be seeing her. Not to mention, I wouldn't have a whole lot of viewers if I were doing streaming, let's say, on a Monday at like noon. So, um, I decided that I would stick with the weekdays. And I'd still be doing the 12 to 14-hour shifts. Because we're a little short staffed, but that's okay because job security, am I right? Um, I'm exhausted though. I'm exhausted. Um, anyway, I'm still gonna keep my streaming schedule. I did shift the time for Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I had to push that back an hour because I will be starting work at 5:30 and ending at 7. So that is not enough time for me to get home, and that because I would be getting home, rushing downstairs, prepping everything for stream frantically, and then starting stream right away. I don't want to eat on stream. I think it's a little unclassy. So I don't want to be doing that unless you guys want me to do it. And I guess I'll just like do that separately on TikTok or YouTube. If you're into it, like I'm a very messy eater, so I don't chew with my mouth open, but like it's not appealing in my opinion. I eat fast, I eat quick, it gets messy. So I don't I don't want to eat on stream. uh but moving on. The other stuff that I accomplished this week was I soundproofed this entire portion that you can't see. I wanted it so bad that that would be part of my background, but in my tests that I had over the weekend, I didn't have the right angle. And if I did have the right angle, my desk would be like jutting out very awkwardly in this space. And the space that you see behind me is obviously a basement. Um, but it is like the only hosting area that we have in our house. So I need this space to not only function as my streaming space, I need it to function as an area where I can host and have friends, like my stream last week on Sunday. Very similar. I need that space to have friends on the couch. I had Ian slash I said Danklerbiter, but it was wrong. It was uh Da Day Ankle-Biter. Deanklebiter. De Ankle-Biter. De Ankle-Biter. Right? Not Dankle-Biter. De Ankle-Biter. So I've been spelling that wrong this whole time, which I found out pretty much live on stream. And then because he was sending messages in chat and I was like, oh my god, I spelt it wrong. And then after stream he told me, he's like, yeah, you've been spelling my name wrong. I felt like such an idiot, but it's on par. It's basically my brand at this point. I get everyone's name wrong. I got Chivi's name wrong. I don't even remember what I called him. Uh, I know I was wrong. I had like 2 or 3 different things that I was trying to say that it could potentially be, and I was wrong on all accounts. And he's like, actually, it's Chivi, like cheese, but with 3s. Like, that rhymes. It's neat. So, I need this space, so I can't, you know, I can't have my desk jutting out. Initially, I had it flat against the wall. It was just a little awkward for me to like move, and then not to mention like the legs were really awkward where I had my monitor was like right in the middle. So like if I scooched a little too far forward, um some of my bits would get pushed up against a metal pole, which does not feel good. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, maybe. But also maybe you're not dumb with your layout like I am. So anyway, I have readjusted everything. My layout's more comfortable for me to stream. I needed my desktop close to my TV so I could play if I want on the couch or not. Because like I said, I have these streams. Like I have it set up for couch co-op. It's very easy to, well, maybe not easy, but I can adjust it if I have like 30-40 minutes of time prior to stream. I can adjust everything pretty quick, and then stream couch co-op. So if I get sick of being in the chair, I can move to the couch. It's not a problem. It'll take me some time, but it's not a problem. Or if I have friends and we're doing a couch co-op. I also this weekend bought a ton of GameCube games. A ton. I found a bunch at a local store, and I checked off almost every single game on my wish list for co-op games. Almost every single one of them. So I'm very excited about that. I have like four new games from that. So I'm gonna add that to the list. Maybe I'll have Pandaberry over, maybe with some of her kiddos, and we can embarrass me further with more stories, or I can embarrass them. I've got some dirt on her kids. They know what's up. That's a threat. Anyway, um, so that that I have set up. I have Pokemon Pinball finally up and running. I've been tinkering with that for weeks. I just could not get it up and running the way that I wanted it on the GameCube, but I finally got it today. So I was like, oh, I had some stuff going on today. I had to take time off of work. I'm not going to get into that. But I had time to tinker around the GameCube and I figured it out and it's set up and I play tested it for a bit, and it's great, running phenomenal. So wanted to play that today. I also, sorry, there's so many things to talk about, so many things because it was a whole week. It was a whole week since I streamed last, so I have a lot to talk about. So redoing the basement, more video games, all of that other stuff that I talked about. I already forgot. I came out with a logo. I posted it on one of my thumbnails on YouTube and did not make a big deal out of it at all. And I totally forgot to coordinate stuff with YouTube and TikTok on that. It took me a while to come out with this logo. I've been working on it for a month now. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but I think it's good enough where I could start using it. So I'm gonna start using it. Maybe I'll put it over here, like way down in the corner over there. Uh, like add it somewhere on my stream. Probably start using that for like my profile picture. My current profile picture is some art piece that I did in college years ago. So it'd be nice to update and upgrade that. Okay, that is it. I'm gonna skip the story because I feel like I've been talking a long time. So we're gonna skip that and we're gonna get straight into the game. Because, like I said, I've been talking for too long. So we'll just get straight into it. Um, Pokemon Pinball, one of my more favorite games to play from the whole Game Boy Color age. So personally, my game was the blue version. In Pokemon Pinball, I'm not so good at the blue version, or good at all. But like it's a little nostalgic for me, so we'll stick with blue for now. I'll switch to red next. I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Like I said, I practiced a little bit. I practiced a little bit today. I wouldn't call it like extensive practice because I only played like one round. And I wasn't very good. But I'm just here for some relaxing fun, right? Play casual. I'm not good at pinball. I've never claimed to be good at pinball. I'm not even that good at Pokemon. So we're just hanging out. We're chilling. I need a little bit of a distraction today, and I wanted to post some content. So we're playing Pokemon Pinball. You got a problem with that? You don't have to watch, man. Ah. Okay. So much for a Great Ball. So this was like the game that I think my brother and I shared for the most part, like a lot. Well, actually, it was like the first game that we ever shared together. And we wouldn't like trade off Game Boys. We would literally like tear it out of the Game Boys and switch. So he'd be like, "Oh, hey, I got this new high score," and then he'd like tear it out of his Game Boy, and then I'd put it in mine, and he's like, try to beat my high score. And he'd always play on the red version, and I'd always play on the blue version. So that was just what we did. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I prefer the red version over the blue version. I think the blue version can be relatively easy, but I prefer the red version because I don't know. I don't remember my reasoning behind why I like the red version more. I feel like blue's just kind of basic, I guess. And the red is a little more challenging, I suppose. Woohoo! I got that gray ball! So, yeah, I prefer the red version on Pinball, but I'll play blue version because it's nostalgic. And I'm feeling a little nostalgic today, so soon. Yeah. Here's that gray ball again, baby! Let's go for an ultra ball. Nope. Never mind. Whee! Oh. Hurry up. To the next stage, away! Or not! Psych! Watch me get a Psyduck. Psy-I-I! Oh gosh. Let's get a Pokemon. Thank you. Again. Hey, that was in my Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge. That was Pandaberry. That I didn't really use. I wish I could have used Pandaberry more, but at that point in time I had Brockalock, which was already a poison Pokemon, so why would I need more? Plus I had, oh, that was glitchy. Plus I had a Zubat as well. I can't remember, Lola McLawhorn, I think? Something like that. So I already had like a couple of poison Pokemon. I didn't need another one. I mean, if I were really smart, I would have added her almost right away. You know, but I am not very smart. I am not very smart, and I am not very good at pinball, but here we are. I just wanted... Oh, no! I just wanted to play a fun, easy game. Fun, easy game, casual. There's no high stakes. Doesn't matter if I look like a fool or not. But yeah, look at that score in red. Look at that high score. Isn't that neat? Isn't that great? I did so well. And then, third place was my brother. actually. So, good for him. Good for him. I believe the game randomly like reset on us, so we didn't have as much as we did before, but I think it like restarted when we were in middle school, and we had a lot more than this on our decks, but you know, it restarted and we got into it quite a bit for a couple of weeks. I think we went on vacation 4th of July to Detroit Lakes, and we were just, you know, playing around, having fun. So that was neat. That was a fun time that I had. He did great, even though he never played Blue version before. But he got one of the high scores, and that's held for pretty long because, like I said, I'm not very good at this. But it doesn't matter because I'm not like a sweaty tryhard. We're just here to have fun. We're just here to have fun. Get some Pokemon! Is it a Voltorb? Or is it a Jigglypuff? Who's that Pokemon? No one knows. Not a Spheal, though. Oh, that's another game I really want. I'm looking for Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. I've not played that game. I really wanted to, but like I have stated before, I have an extreme dislike for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. So my disdain only grew when they came out with Pokemon Pinball for that, and I was like, I like the original. I'm not gonna get the new one because the old one's great, and this is a bunch of Bologna. So, missed out on that. That was unfortunate. Definitely wish I wouldn't have been such a humongous butt snatch when I was younger. There was really no need to be such a diehard fan of the original Pokemon, but I did it. Oh boy. You know what would be great if I got it in the hole? Ooh, make it in the hole, baby! Or just completely not do what I asked and make me do this garbage nonsense. And then that happens. I don't normally talk this much when I play video games, so honestly this is also like a very good practice for me if I want to stream more, get better at streaming. Which I do, obviously. Like, I sunk in a bunch of money for streaming recently. So far, I think I've sunk $2,500. Not too much. I mean, overall, I know a lot of people spend way more than that starting out streaming. I just, you know, am cheap, and the only reason why I started doing it was because I told my wife I've been wanting to do this for years, and she's like, you know what? The only thing stopping you is you. If you want to do it, just go ahead and do it. Just do it. So I just started doing it. I figured I needed a cam, and I found out later that I have friends who are streaming that don't use webcams and they can just, you know, like post content right off of their Xbox, which is what I was doing. But in the early days of me streaming, which is only like a couple months ago, I decided that I needed a webcam and I wanted people to see my face, just because that's the content that I consumed. That's the content that I want to see. I want to see people's faces. I want to see people's reactions, so that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to make sure that I had a webcam. So that was a personal decision for me. So here I am living it. But no, in all seriousness, like, I just want to put out, good content. I want to try to make good stuff, and I want people to like it. Sure. I'm not making a living off of this, which is fine, because right now it's just a hobby. If it ever turns into a career, that would be cool. I definitely got to work on A, my gameplay, and B, I have to have more of like an ego, I guess. And currently my ego is like, I'm not good at games. Actually, I'm good at games, but actually I'm not. So I'm just like contradicting myself more than half the time. But I'm here to have fun. Video games are supposed to be fun. Like I said, even like when I was streaming on TikTok, or when I was live on TikTok earlier, I was saying like that I went to a couple of tournaments for the Digimon card game, because I was into Digimon for the longest time. I mean, I'm still into Digimon. I just don't do the tournaments anymore because I had a bad experience. I had a guy like rip up his deck and throw it in my face and like call me an MFer and like storm out, and he was like crying, and I'm just like, dude, it's a children's card game, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, oy vey, my guy, oy vey. So, I just, like I said, if you're not having fun, you probably shouldn't be playing, because, like, it's, at the end of the day, it's just a game. We're here to have fun. If you're not having fun, seriously reconsider your actions. Because you're bringing down the mood for everyone else when you do nonsense like that. And it's not fair to the rest of us. So, I mean, like what happened with the Digimon card game is I had a strategy, and it was kind of in the realm of like poker, right? Poker it's like half luck and the other half is skill. The other half you have to play, you have to not only play the hand, but you have to play the player. So that's what I incorporated in my Digimon card game strategy. I realized back when I was playing Pokemon, the Pokemon card game, is I would constantly lose because I kept making dumb mistakes, because I kept overthinking things, and I kept thinking like, oh man, my opponent has this and whatever, and I'm not focused on the card game, or I'm not having fun. And that was the huge issue with me and playing the Pokemon TCG. So when I got to the Digimon card game, I decided, Pokemon wasn't fun because I was taking it too seriously, and like, B, I got played half the time. I only lost through my own stupidity. So I practiced and I tried, the poker face. I'm not good at. I'm not good at poker facing. Poker face. Poker face. That was not a good. Uh, I'm not good at the poker face. Okay? Not good at all. Did not end well for me. So I decided, since that was the thing that was tripping me up, I was gonna do that to other people. So in the Digimon card game, very much so similar to the Pokemon card game, you would have multiple rounds. You would have multiple rounds where you are facing the same opponent, and it's best 2 out of 3. Okay, so the best 2 out of 3. So, you know, most people when they're playing, they come out with a strategy. Oh, hey, my opponent's using this deck, they're using this strategy. The next round, I'm going to be aware of that strategy, and I'm going to try to counter it, or, you know, I'm going to play a little differently, anticipating that strategy. Okay, so I also used that, and I would change my strategy. So what I would do is I would have this one card, Joe Kaido and Izzy Azumi, I think it was like from the booster set 4 or whatever. A black tamer, it added 2 memory at the start of your turn if your opponent had 2 or more Pokemon, Digimon on the field. And on top of that, if one of my Digimon perished during the opponent's turn, I could tap that tamer and draw a card. So it helped with me cycling through my deck quick. And the whole point of my deck, it was a D Brigade deck because Dark Dramon's amazing, Command Dramon's amazing, Seal Dramon's amazing, Tank Dramon is meh, but I love that deck. I love that Digimon. I love Chaosmon. Like, so cool. And, like, not super similar to, not super similar to Agumon and whatever. And then, of course, like, after I said that, like, it's a dinosaur. It's like a little T-Rex, but it's got like a helmet on with like a mask and like an automatic rifle. So that's pretty neat. No, but like, honestly, Dark Dramon's like the coolest thing. It's like, if I had to describe it, I would say it would be like what Cyberdramon's Mega Evolution should have been. That's how I would describe it. And if I clip this, I will put up pictures so people can see it. Actually, you know what? I will clip this, and I'll put up pictures. So, again, I'll reiterate this for the clip. I think that Cyberdramon's Mega Evolution should have been Dark Dramon. The design matches it pretty similarly. It's pretty cool. You know, it pretty much checks all of the boxes, right? We didn't need to make another clone of Agumon, but we did. Which, whatever. They have to deal with it, we have to deal with it. It's fine. But, anyway, he's the coolest Digimon I think I've ever seen. I think I first discovered Dark Dramon when the DS games came out, so it was Digimon World Dusk and Dawn. Like, I loved that game. I grinded that game so much. Because I loved it so much. I even restarted that game multiple times. And Dark Dramon was always on my team. Chaos Dramon, always on my team. Or, yeah, no, not Chaos Dramon. Chaosmon, always on my team. Always. Because he's super cool. So I fell in love with that Digimon. So that's why I made the D-Brigade deck that I did. And it would just make everyone so mad because they didn't really understand the mechanics of that deck. So, like I said, the Joe Kaido and Izzy Azumi would be there for draw support plus more memory. And most people would be like, oh, he's gonna use the memory for, you know, option cards to like decimate my side of the field or like buff his side of the field. I didn't. I totally let my opponents believe on the first round that I didn't have option cards. Or if I did have option cards, they would be the low cost ones, because I was all about like getting Commandramon on the field. So back then they had a Commandramon that had block. And that was the boy that I was like, oh, gotta get him out right away. So I kept getting him out, and then I kept cycling him back into my deck. And then, you know, since he had blocker, I would basically just sacrifice him to the Digigods during my opponent's turn and have him block. So since that happened, then Izzy Azumi and Joe Kaido would activate, and I draw a card, and, you know, I just keep building up. And then if my opponents decided to give me more memory, I would just keep throwing down more of those blocking Commandramon, and I'd only block with one each turn. And then, you know, my discard pile or graveyard, or what do they call it? I don't remember what they call it. I think it's like discard pile or delete file or something, whatever. Recycle. I just, you know, keep getting Digimon back, and people were getting frustrated because, you know, I kept recycling all of these Pokemon, and they're like, oh, it's the draw power, so I'm not going to attack when he has the blocker on the field. So then I in the next round, I took that as advantage, and, you know, maybe they'd build up a defense because my deck would basically be like a rush deck. So I would pretty much use all my low-level guys. I'd like send them out. I'd use my low-level guys to just attack, and then they'd get put in the discard pile, and then I'd use that for my big Dark Dramon to come out, because you could summon him onto the field if you had 5 or more Digimon with D-Brigade in their traits or names or what. I think it was traits. Yeah, D-Brigade in their trait. I could summon Dark Dramon to the field for a reduced cost, which was basically 3, which is amazing, because that was what most of the Commandramon that I had, that was their play cost. So it would only cost me 3 memory. So I'd just be, you know, sacrificing my guys to the Digigods and racking up all these guys in the discard pile, and then they're like, oh, well, I know, so I'm just gonna, you know, build up my blockers. Well, then I did have a counter to that, and I led them to believe that I didn't, because that's how you play the game, right? You need to play the player. So I led them to believe that I didn't have anything to counter them having blockers, and then that's when I would build up all this memory, and I just decimate their side of the field with Ultimate Flare. it would like de-digivolve 3 or something to either one of your opponent's Digimon or multiple. I don't remember the exact thing that the card says. I'd have to get it out and look. But it would just like decimate their side of the field, because not only would it de-digivolve one of their Digimon 3 stages, you could also delete all of their Digimon with play cost of 3 or less, which when you de-digivolve them 3 stages, most of them go back to their like level 3 or rookie stage, and most of those play costs are 3 or less. So it's like, I'm for sure getting rid of that one Digimon. So then I just decimate their side of the field, and then, you know, some of them had a lot of recovery, so there was a card later that said that, like, it was like Congo or something like that. And it only cost 2 memory, and, you know, all you'd have to do is... Hold on, I'm thinking. All you'd have to do is play it, and they couldn't add more to their recovery stack, and that's like how you win the game, is getting someone's recovery or security stack to 0, and then attacking them directly. So if they were recovering a bunch, and recovering just means that you're adding more cards to your security stack, I would make sure that they couldn't do that with Congo. So it's like restricts them from recovering any more for a turn. So if I had their security down to nothing, and this happened several times in my tournament days, that someone would be running a recovery deck, they'd get their recovery to 0, and they knew that I couldn't attack that turn, so then they're like, oh, well, I have all these cards to get my my security stack back up to pretty much 5 or 6 or 3, you know, depending on the deck or how lucky they are, or if they were saving out, you know. So that one card would mess up those decks, and then the next turn, like, well, I have an abundance of Digimon on my side of the field to attack, or I would play that card knowing full well that I had a Darkdramon in my hand that I could summon, and it had Rush, so I could attack my opponent directly immediately. If I had 3, and I always had 3 memory because I had a regular Izzy Azumi out there to gain me 3 memory at the start of my turn. So I was pretty much locked in at that point, and it made a lot of my opponents mad because, you know, well, that's not how you play the game. That's not how you play the game. That's not how you're supposed to play the game. And I was like, it doesn't say that's not how you... It doesn't say in the rulebook anywhere that you can't play the game like that. You can absolutely play the game because you're playing the player, not the game. And that's what a lot of people didn't understand. They didn't understand that you are not playing the game. You are playing a player. That's the point. So I don't need to beat the game. I need to beat the player. So I got to be smart about it. So that's what I did. I played the player every time. No one figured out my strategy. They would just get mad, and then they'd tell their friends, not my strategy, by the way. They'd just get mad and say that I'm a troll. Like, I'm not trolling. I'm playing the game. Like, just because you can't figure out the strategy, or like you're getting flustered by this guy who's supposedly playing like what do they call it? A meme deck? They're like, you're not playing a real deck. you're not playing a deck in meta, you're just playing some meme deck. I'm like, all right, if that's what you want to call it, that's fine. And then they lose, and they get really mad that they lost. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't have underestimated someone else's deck or made fun of it because you think it's stupid. You know, like, that's my favorite Digimon. How dare you disrespect my favorite Digimon and my favorite Digimon's line? That's not cool. And then I just realized I said, like, I didn't want my favorite Digimon to be an Agumon clone because that's so basic. My apologies. There are a lot of Agumon. And Agumon's pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. I won't disrespect Agumon. I'm sorry, Agumon fans. But, oh, okay. Scyther? So yeah, I had a lot of fun playing those tournaments until people started acting really weird, and like it got sad because people would get really mad, and you know, like I said, they like ripped up their decks and threw the cards at me. Like, you know, they'd go under the table and cry. There's this one guy who threatened to kill me, and then he ended up getting banned from the card shop. And it's like, you know, why do we have to be like this? Why can't we just like enjoy ourselves in a game? Why must things be like this? Why do we have to be sweaty tryhards? So, moral of the story, don't be a sweaty tryhard. Have fun. Have fun. That's the whole point of playing games. Whether they're card games, board games, video games, sports games, whatever, have fun. Because most of the time, most of us are not getting paid to play. And if you are, get a sponsorship. You know, and then, you know, you don't have to play games that you don't like unless you have a sponsorship. And if you don't, if you don't like the game that you're playing based on the sponsorship, that's your own fault. That is your own fault. That is 100% your fault. You should play test the game before you agree to do a sponsorship, or if they're paying you a ridiculous amount of money, suck it up. Suck it up. Don't get mad. Play the game. You know, do your best. But you don't need to, like, be raging or whatever. Chill out. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. Okay? I don't think anyone's making billions off of playing whatever game you're doing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just a game. Okay, rant over. Rant over. Oh, maybe I should be a little more selective of where I'm trying to get, but there's no point in this stream. I am just playing this to have fun. And kill some time. I feel bad about taking a week off, but it was necessary. I got a lot accomplished. It needed to get done, so I'm gonna have some more stuff coming out. Overall, I'm pretty happy with what I accomplished over the week. Wish I would have got a couple more things done, but again, like, I'm doing this for fun. Just trying to get better. did not get to play a whole lot of video games when I was a kid. I got to play like the handheld consoles a lot. That was kind of my bread and butter, I guess. And I only got to do that because my family would travel all the time for pretty much all of our holidays except for Thanksgiving. So that was the only reason why. I think I've said this before on stream, but really the only reason why my parents got us the video games was because there was this one episode of The Simpsons where Bart and Lisa are in the back and they're going, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And, you know, us being impressionable young youths saw that and saw how annoyed Homer and Marge got, but mostly Homer. And we emulated that. So we said that to our parents over and over again, and then boom, next Christmas, Game Boy Color, Pokemon. And then the next year it was Pokemon Pinball, and well, actually, no, it wasn't even. It was like as soon as Gold and Crystal came out, or not Gold and Crystal, Gold and Silver came out. As soon as Gold and Silver came out, it was boom. Here's a new video game. It was awesome. I think for my birthday I ended up getting Pokemon Yellow. But I don't like that game. I don't like Pikachu. I don't know if I've said that before. I hate Pikachu, and I hate Mr. Mime. I hate Mr. Mime more than Pikachu, just because when they came out with genders for like breeding and stuff in Gen 2, Mr. Mime could be female, and that really irked me for some reason. Like, I think it irked me because I was struggling with Mr. and Mrs. in elementary school, and I was like, oh, Mr. Mime, I can learn from that. Mr. is a guy. It's always a guy. And then, yeah, no. Nope, not for Pokemon. And that was just a little frustrating for me as a young kid, with a touch of the tism, so... But yeah, pardon, youthful me. Oh boy, I hope I can get this Geodude. Oh. Never mind. Onwards and upwards. But yeah, the only games I really got to play were these types of games for handhelds, just because we traveled so much and my parents wanted us to shut up while we were in the car. And that was their only thoughtful solution for that, was to get us games, just so we would shut up. And I mean, they're not wrong. Because what do we have, like iPad kids now, iPad babies, and it's basically the same. More capabilities on their iPad, but roughly the same concept. I want the kids to be calm and content, because otherwise it might be chaos. And I get that because I used to be a teacher for special education, so I totally understand. Totally understand. I'm not calling anyone out on it. I get it. Totally get it. Kids can be annoying. I know as a young child myself, I was also very, very annoying. I was exhausting to my family. Sometimes I was a burden. But we're not going to focus on it. Another thing about my new setup that I'm very excited about is I have adjusted and readjusted and adjusted once more my filters on my microphone. So currently I have a fan going on. You should not be able to hear that. And I also have the TV on so I can hear the audio. So I'm next to the TV that's like just to my left, which is also camera left. Psh, over here. The TV is over here and I can hear it. So I only have that TV on so I can hear it myself. Otherwise I have to play this with no volume. And it's not as, I gotta tell you, it's not as much fun. I think I've said before that when I was younger, we were forced to play video games with no volume. And I was too stupid to realize that, yes, you could get headphones and plug them in. But I didn't like them because they were uncomfortable. So I did not wear the headphones. My brother did. Because he's smarter than I am. So yeah, I did not wear headphones, so I suffered in silence. Or should I say I suffered with silence. So yeah, not as much fun. Now that I'm an adult and I can actually have game volume on, I love it. It's great. I feel like I missed out on several years of great quality content because I did not listen to the game volume. I did not have the volume on for video games. I think this was one of the games that my brother and I would just, even after the car rides, we would play this game just like sitting on the couch watching TV, and like I said, we would just switch the game back and forth. So we'd complete a game, we'd show each other our score, and then out comes the cartridge and into the other person's cartridge. Or Game Boy, not cartridge. And that was fun. Kind of miss those days. Second ball saver. Sweet. Let's see what we get next. Maybe my 30-second ball saver will run out and I'll get another one. Why am I so good at calling these? I have no idea. No idea. Like, I don't know at this point if it's like luck or skill. I have no clue. No idea why I'm so good at that. Happened during my Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge. It happened during Mario Party 6. Like, man, I'm just so good at calling stuff. And then, oh, I think it even happened during maybe Shadow of Mordor? I don't know. I'm sure it happened once or twice. It seems to happen all the time. Usually it happens when I'm like joking about something. Like, oh yeah, oh, this would suck if this happened. And then it happens immediately. No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, come on, I'm running out of time. Only got a couple seconds until the ball saber goes away. Oh. Yep. Oh, thank you. That was nice. That was very much appreciated. Thanks, game. Oh, no. Shouldn't be that hard to get back up there, man. Ow! Ugh. So another thing I gotta do is I gotta start making thumbnails for all of the games that I'm playing for YouTube, because there's a lot of games that I absolutely adore playing, and there's a lot of games that I want to play. I just should really make a thumbnail to make it look maybe a little more professional. I had an Ultra Ball, man. Just gotta take a break real quick. Real quick. Just a quick break from that. So we'll move back to chatting here for a second. My eyes hurt. Okay. Oh, I think actually I'm just tired. I've, like I said, my job is great. I love my new job. The hours are long, and I'm still learning stuff, so my brain's kind of fried. I'm trying to not mess up at work. Okay. Ugh. I'm sure you see that too. So, I think I'm gonna call it for today. I had fun kind of distracting myself from today playing games. Uh, Good that I got things set up. I'm glad I was able to kind of announce some of the things that I've been wanting to announce for a while. I have still some more things to do on my end. Just gotta find the time, and sometimes editing all of those videos gets a little tedious, tiresome, and kind of boring sometimes, if I'm being honest with you. So it's good to take a break every once in a while and do something that you enjoy. For me, that was Pokemon Pinball. At some point in time, I would like to get Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire and actually give that game a shot. I might purchase it if I find it. Well, if I find it, I will definitely purchase it, especially if it's in person. If we're talking online, I don't know. We'll see. If I have so many video games that I want to play that I have like on my scheduled list to play. So I will probably get to it at some point. Because I would like to play that game. It looks like fun. I've been seeing some videos, some people on TikTok that are playing it live, and it looks like fun. So I would very much so like to play that game. as for the immediate future, tomorrow I will be streaming Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That will be after work, so I'm hoping that I am not utterly exhausted, but I will be here regardless. I am and have been enjoying that game immensely. That is so much fun to play. My favorite character is hands down Chobin. He is crazy. Absolutely crazy Chobin is. I also like the voice that I came up with for Chobin. I just it matches what I picture him to like the energy that he puts out in the world, at least in my mind. So I will probably be revisiting Chobin tomorrow in stream. I have a lot of clips from my previous stream that involve Chobin that I'm working on and I have been editing, and it tickles me. I think it's funny. If you don't, that's fine. I personally think it's hilarious. So I'm gonna post it regardless of what anyone thinks, because it's just fun, and I'm having fun, and that's all that I care about. I want to have fun. Um, I am enjoying Chobin. I am enjoying Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I will visit Chobin tomorrow for sure. I think I still have to finish the area that I'm in. But we'll get to that tomorrow. So I will try not to be so tired. But like I said, since I'm enjoying the game so much, it's gonna be a blast. And keep dragging out the end of stream. So I that's the plan. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. It'll be fun. It'll be tomorrow. If you're looking for times, it'll be on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, you have already missed the stream, and the stream will be posted on YouTube probably the following day. So look out for that. If you're watching this right away, which I doubt any of you are. But yeah, if I ever have an impromptu stream, it'll be something like simple, a pick up put down game, like Pokemon Pinball. Or it'll be some other game. I've got some pick up put down games on Xbox and on my PlayStation 4. Actually, I got a few pick up put down games on the PlayStation 4, so I could and should and definitely will play those at some point in time. Anyway, that's the end of the stream, and I'm gonna stop talking. Oh, I'll see you guys. Bye.